One of the world's best netballers in Helen Housby has called the upcoming series between England and New Zealand a blockbuster, a statement myself and Tamsin Greenway agree with completely. Tamsin, welcome along. Saturday, Sunday and then next Wednesday we have some international netball not to be missed. What can we expect?
Oh, it's an incredible opportunity for this England Roses side. They haven't faced the Kiwis since last year and they got that historic 2-1 victory down in New Zealand. So to get to play against the world number twos and to match it with the squad that they have picked, a blockbuster lineup, Jess Selby is reeling at this opportunity.
We're going to talk about England's form against the Silver Ferns last year and early this year in a minute. But before we do that, the Silver Ferns, I mean, they have been in the media quite a lot these last couple of months. This coaching saga, if you like. I mean, it's a story that I don't understand. I don't know if you understand. I'm pretty sure our viewers probably don't understand either. Can you just try and get us up to speed with exactly what's going on there?
Yeah, a complete mess really in the netball world. Noeline Taurua, the Kiwis coach, was stood down in September off the back of a camp in January, a training camp that was claimed to be psychologically unsafe. Since then, there were investigations. However, Noeline now has been reinstated. Netball New Zealand decided there was no action further to be taken. She's missed about 3 months of training, missed series with the team, hasn't travelled over with the team now, even though she's back in the job, and even came out herself last week and said she wasn't even sure why she was stood down or what the investigation was all about.
It's so interesting. I mean, I'm sure that as this series unfolds, we're going to find out more and hear more about this. But in terms of on the court then, this background noise, is it going to impact their performances?
Well, look, you have to remember the impact Noeline has had. This would be like stepping down Pep off Man City just for a few weeks to see what was going on. She is huge. She's a massive name. Culture is everything she stands for. So you'd have thought it had impact. However, the Kiwis have had a really busy international season. They've just beaten South Africa 3-0 without her. They've beaten the Aussies twice in the last couple of weeks to take that to a 4-all and a decider that went to extra time. And now they're heading over to play the Roses. They've just beaten Scotland as well in a 2-game warm-up. So it seems to be that under adversity, they've come out hugely on top. However, there have been players that have spoken out for Noeline, and I think they'll be welcoming her back into the team.
Yeah, of course, she will take charge if everything goes to plan for the Commonwealth Games next year in Glasgow. OK, so that's the Silver Ferns. Let's look at the Roses then. You spoke about it at the top there. They were incredible down under against both Australia and New Zealand last year and early this year. I mean, that alone, taking that form and then, of course, the Nations Cup earlier this year, they won that. They must be going into this series full of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And they should be as well. 8 months out from the Commonwealth Games, knowing that they'll face probably the Kiwis in one of the big competitions. I mean, they've picked a lineup that is brilliant. And to be on home soil as well, we haven't seen this group together for such a long time. 5 players that were in that World Cup final. They've then brought back the likes of Sasha Glasgow, who plays down in the SSN. You've then got the likes of a Lois Pearson and 2 debutantes. It's almost like the perfect mix have come together. And it's really exciting for all the English fans and for the team itself. We spoke to some of the players yesterday and they sort of walking into the room going, this is it. There's kind of a really good feeling about this group.
OK, good feeling from Tams, and that's positive if you're, of course, English. Now, one of those big names that's back is, of course, Helen Housby. I mean, just try and put into words what kind of player she is and what fans of netball and maybe new fans can expect to see from her.
Well, she's 111 caps in. She plays a trade down under it for Sydney Swifts. But it's just the way that she wins the games. She was the one that scored the winner in the 2018 Commonwealth Games, the first time England have ever done that, taking home a gold medal. And that sort of put her in the forefront and centre of England's biggest stars. She plays in the circle. She's always going to put in the winning goals. And I mean, she's also one of the oldest players in the team now. At 30 years old, she has so much experience. She talks about being the mum in the attack end, but she's a leader, an absolute winner. And I think whenever you have her in an English side, you have full belief in what this team can do.
I think as well, Tams, and it's fair to say, whenever you're looking at internationals, whether it be netball, rugby, whatever sport, there's always question marks over selection. The same can be said for Jess Selby and her selection for this series, particularly in the midcourt. What have you made of it?
Yeah, I think there was big chat around whether a player, Ellis Scholes, should have been in this squad. And I think a lot of talk has been around the performances this year in our Super League, which have been great. However, I think we have to come back to reality here. We are so close now building to the Commonwealth Games. We've got this opportunity against New Zealand, one against Jamaica, and then in the new year against South Africa. And that's it. And then you hit the big guns when you head to the world competition. So I think what's what's really interesting is Jess Selby has picked a squad of youth and experience and the stars that have been performing. You have to bring the likes of someone like Lois Pearson back into this mix, who missed last season through injury. When she performed against Australia and New Zealand last year, she was a big part of the process of why we got over the line. So although players have had good opportunities in the Super League this year and performed, this is now crunch time, and you can't look past some of those players that will get you over the line. And it's a young group, an average age of 24, which is incredible. So exciting for the future.
It is really exciting, isn't it? Just on that then, the players that are playing in this series, how much will they have the Commonwealth Games on their mind?
I mean, it has to be on their mind. You know, they'll play it down. They'll say these results won't matter. New Zealand are a really unpredictable side, you know, just the way they play. Even the last test against Australia, they got smashed in the first 2 games, came back and convincingly beat the Aussies on their home soil. So, you know, you can't take this series for granted. They'll want to get at least 1 win under their belt to understand that they can play this style and beat one of the best shooters in the world at the minute, Grace Nweke.
Well, listen, our prediction is it is going to be close. It is going to be a series you cannot miss. Just ask the head coach, Jess Selby.
There's not one netball match now between the top 5 or 6 that you would know the score of before they step out on court. The game is in the most healthiest place it's ever been, and if there were 2 teams that have delivered in the last couple of years, it's us versus the Silver Ferns. So yeah, I would definitely tune in because nobody knows what to call on this one.